The most dangerous person in the room isn't the one screaming. It's the one who's been silent for too long. You know what makes me laugh? They spent decades studying the wrong monsters. While these brilliant minds at Langley were mapping terrorists and foreign agents, something far more terrifying was evolving right under their noses. Not in caves or compounds, but in the quiet corners of society, in the cubicles, in the coffee shops, in you. See, they thought they were looking for wolves, but they found something worse. They found sheep who'd learned to think like wolves. The overlooked ones, the underestimated ones, the ones who smiled politely while calculating exactly how many ways they could destroy everything around them. These analysts, these so-called experts in human behavior, they quit because they recognized something in the data that made their blood run cold. Profiles of individuals operating at intelligence levels that couldn't be contained, controlled, or predicted. People who'd been psychological warfare without even knowing it. People who'd been forged in rejection, tempered in isolation, and sharpened by every single person who ever told them they weren't enough. They said, recruit this person, or we're all dead. But here's the beautiful part, the absolutely delicious irony that makes me want to dance in the streets. They were already too late, because you, beautiful, damaged, brilliant you, had already recruited yourself. Every sleepless night wondering why you didn't fit in, that was training. Every job interview where they looked right through you, intelligence gathering. Every relationship that ended with them saying you were too intense, congratulations. You've been operating at classified levels your entire life, and you didn't even know it. Every rejection letter was actually a security clearance denial because they knew you were too dangerous to hire. Oh, the beautiful irony. Society's rejects aren't broken, my dear damaged souls. They're classified. Classified. That job you didn't get, that was because you weren't qualified. That was because your interviewer's primitive brain sensed something predatory in your eyes. Something that made their fight or flight response scream threat detected. Every relationship that imploded, every door that slammed in your face, every time someone said you were too much, or too intense, or kind of weird, that wasn't punishment, that was protection. Protection for them, because when you've been forced to survive in the margins, when you've been pushed to the edges of society's neat little boxes, you develop capabilities that would make CIA operatives weep with envy. You read micro-expressions like their source code. You predict human behavior like you're running algorithms in your head. You've been conducting psychological warfare since you were old enough to realize that grown-ups lie, and you've been winning battles you didn't even know you were fighting. Every awkward social interaction, advanced behavioral analysis training. Every time you felt like an outsider looking in, that was surveillance training. Beautiful. You learned to observe without being observed, to process without revealing, to calculate without showing your hand. Your social failures weren't failures at all. They were intelligence tests you were passing without knowing it. And now you're ready to understand exactly what you've become. While they were playing checkers, you were mapping the entire board in your mind. Bravo, bravo. The isolation. Oh, that beautiful, crushing isolation. It taught you something that intelligence agencies spend millions of dollars trying to teach their operatives. How to observe without being observed. How to process information without revealing your hand. How to exist in a room full of people while remaining completely invisible. Every awkward social interaction wasn't a failure in human connection. It was advanced behavioral analysis training. While they were stumbling through small talk about the weather, you were cataloging micro-expressions, voice patterns, body language tells. You learned to read rooms like blueprints, to decode intentions like encrypted messages, to predict outcomes because your psychological survival depended on it. That feeling you get when you walk into a room and immediately know who's lying, who's scared, who's dangerous, who's weak. That's not intuition, my brilliant outcast. That's tactical awareness. Your brain has been running threat assessments since childhood, calculating probability matrices, identifying escape routes. Your social anxiety wasn't weakness. It was your subconscious mind performing advanced reconnaissance on everyone around you. While they saw a shy, awkward person struggling to fit in, you were actually a covert operative gathering intelligence. Every party you stood in the corner at, observation post. Every conversation where you barely spoke, information extraction. Every time you felt like you didn't belong, that was your brain correctly identifying that you were operating on a completely different level. You weren't broken. You were just using military-grade psychological equipment in a civilian setting. No wonder it felt overwhelming. No wonder you felt different. You were different. You still are. And now it's time to stop apologizing for your superior capability. They work in teams because they're weak. You work alone because you're complete. Want to know what keeps intelligence directors awake at night? Lone operators. The ones who can't be mapped, tracked, or predicted through social networks. The ones who operate outside the herd mentality. The ones who've learned to be self-sufficient. Intelligence agencies are terrified of people like you. Why? Because you can't be compromised through relationships. You can't be manipulated through social pressure. You can't be bought, blackmailed, or broken through conventional means. Every handler's worst nightmare. An asset who doesn't need handling. An operative who operates independently. You've been living the lone wolf protocol your entire life, haven't you? Not by choice. Oh no, that would be too simple. By design. Every betrayal that cut you to the bone, that was dependency removal surgery. Every friend who abandoned you when things got difficult, weakness elimination protocol. Every moment of crushing isolation where you thought you might actually die from loneliness, that was forging you into something unbreakable. They stripped away everything you thought you needed until you discovered you needed nothing. Nothing. Every relationship that failed taught you that people are variables, not constants. Every support system that collapsed showed you that the only foundation you can trust is the one you build yourself. Every time someone left you standing alone in the dark, you learned to become your own light, your own strategist, your own backup, your own extraction team. You don't need a team my beautiful lone wolf. You are the team. Scout, analyst, operator, and command, all wrapped up in one magnificently dangerous package. The loudest people in the room are usually the emptiest. The quiet ones, they're calculating trajectories, while the fools around you broadcast their every move on social media, posting their breakfast, their feelings, their locations, their vulnerabilities. You learned something infinitely more valuable. Operational silence. The art of moving through the world like smoke. Present, but untouchable. You move in shadows, not because you're hiding, oh no, my silent predator, but because you're hunting. Your silence isn't shyness, it's strategy. It's tactical superiority disguised as social awkwardness. Every word you don't speak is information you don't give away. Every emotion you don't display is a card you keep in your hand. Every secret you don't share is power you maintain over those foolish enough to spill theirs. Watch them, these emotional exhibitionists, bleeding their hearts all over social media, desperate for validation, hungry for attention. They're giving away their weaknesses for free, their fears, their desires, their pressure points, all mapped out in real time for anyone smart enough to read the data. But not you. Never you. You learn to keep your cards close, to reveal nothing while absorbing everything, to be the question mark in a world full of exclamation points. In psychological warfare, the person who reveals the least controls the most. While they're performing their lives like amateur theater, you're conducting surveillance. While they're seeking attention, you're gathering intelligence. Your silence makes them uncomfortable because somewhere in their primitive brains, they sense a predator in their midst. Someone who watches, someone who remembers, someone who calculates. They can't read you, and that terrifies them more than anything. Because how do you manipulate someone who won't show you their buttons to push? The system rejected you because it detected you were immune to its programming. Oh, this is where it gets delicious. Normal people, these beautiful, obedient sheep, they accept the rules because they were literally designed to accept them. Their brains are wired for compliance, for following, for believing whatever authority figure speaks loudest. But you question everything, because questioning is your default state. Your mental fireball is too strong, your critical thinking too sharp, your pattern recognition too advanced. Every conspiracy theory you've considered, every institution you've doubted, every authority figure you've looked at and thought something's not right here, that wasn't paranoia, my brilliant rebel. That was advanced pattern recognition. You see the strings when others see only the puppet show. While they're applauding the performance, you're studying the puppeteer. While they're getting emotional about the story, you're analyzing the narrative structure. While they're choosing sides in manufactured conflicts, you're asking who benefits from the division. Your brain refuses to accept surface-level explanations because it's operating at a level that demands deeper truth. They called you difficult because you wouldn't stop asking why. They called you paranoid because you noticed inconsistencies. They called you a troublemaker because you refused to pretend the emperor was wearing clothes. Every time someone told you to just accept it, or stop overthinking, or trust the experts, that was them trying to install compliance software on hardware that rejected the download. Your immunity to their programming isn't a bug, it's a feature. Stop apologizing for seeing what they refuse to acknowledge. Stop pretending you don't notice the patterns. Stop dumbing yourself down for people who are intellectually operating at half your capacity. The Matrix rejected you because you were never meant to be trapped inside it. You don't read people. You perform psychological autopsies on the living. While others see smiles and handshakes, you see the decay underneath, the micro-expressions that betray their words, the vocal patterns that reveal their lies, the body language that screams their insecurities. Your pain? Oh, that beautiful, excruciating pain. It gave you X-ray vision into human nature. You can detect lies before they're fully formed in their mouths. You spot manipulation from across a crowded room. You predict betrayal before the betrayer even knows they're going to betray you. This isn't intuition, my damaged genius. This is advanced emotional intelligence, forged in the fires of disappointment, tempered by betrayal, sharpened by abandonment. You've been hurt so many times that your brain developed predictive models for human behavior. Every heartbreak was data collection. Every backstab was pattern analysis. Every moment someone showed you their true nature, that was your psychological database expanding. While they were learning to trust, you were learning to predict. While they were hoping for the best, you were calculating probability. They see your cynicism and call it negative. They see your caution and call it paranoid, but you know better. You know that when someone shows you who they are, you should run that data through your behavioral prediction algorithms immediately. Your trauma wasn't just pain, it was training. Your suffering wasn't just hurt, it was preparation. Your scars aren't just wounds. They're your credentials, your qualifications in the dark arts of human psychology. Every person who hurt you was actually a teacher, showing you exactly what to look for in the next one. Welcome to your graduation ceremony. You've earned a PhD in detecting predators by surviving them. While they consume information, you dissect it like a forensic pathologist examining evidence. Watch them, these information addicts, mindlessly scrolling, consuming, believing whatever narrative gets pushed into their feeds. But not you. No, no, no. You don't just read news. You decode agendas. You identify the puppet masters pulling the strings behind every headline. You don't just watch movies. You analyze propaganda techniques, frame composition, narrative structure, emotional manipulation tactics. Every film is a psychological operations study guide. You don't just scroll social media. You study mass psychology in real time, watching how the herd moves, how opinions spread like viruses, how manufactured outrage gets weaponized. Every piece of media consumption has been unconscious intelligence training. You've developed the ability to see through narratives like they're made of glass, to spot psychological operations before they fully deploy, to identify manipulation techniques that would make Madison Avenue executive weep with envy. While they see entertainment, you see engineering. While they see news, you see narrative construction. While they see social media, you see behavioral modification experiments. Your brain automatically reverse engineers every piece of content you encounter. Who benefits from this message? What emotion are they trying to trigger? What action are they trying to provoke? What belief are they trying to install or destroy? You're not consuming content, my brilliant analyst. You're gathering intelligence on how the machine operates. Every advertisement reveals their psychological pressure points. Every news story exposes their agenda. Every viral trend shows you exactly how they're programming the masses. You've become a counterintelligence operative in a world that doesn't even know it's under psychological siege. Welcome to the resistance, agent. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to never be fooled again. You've been undercover your entire life, even from yourself. The depression, the anxiety, that crushing feeling of not belonging anywhere, that wasn't mental illness, you beautiful broken butterfly. That was your consciousness rejecting a reality that was too small for your capabilities. Your soul was suffocating in a world designed for lesser minds. You've been a sleeper agent waiting for activation. Every therapist who tried to fix you was actually trying to lobotomize your supernatural abilities. Every medication they prescribed was chemical warfare against your heightened awareness. Every time they told you to be normal, they were trying to downgrade your operating system to their primitive level. But sleeper agents can't be reprogrammed. They can only be awakened. Every setback was preparation for this moment. Every failure was training your psychological muscles. Every moment of crushing loneliness was building the kind of mental resilience that would make special forces operators weep with envy. While they were learning to follow orders, you were learning to question everything. While they were building team spirit, you were building unbreakable independence. Your depression taught you to operate in darkness. Your anxiety trained your threat detection systems to maximum sensitivity. Your isolation forced you to develop self-sufficiency protocols that most people couldn't survive for a week. You weren't sick. You were evolving. You weren't broken. You were being forged into something beyond their comprehension. Stop medicating your power. Stop apologizing for your intensity. Stop pretending your supernatural awareness is a disorder. The sleeper agent protocol is now active. Your mission parameters are simple. Stop numbing what makes you dangerous. Start weaponizing your awareness. The world needs what you've become, even if they're too primitive to understand it.